begin with this story. Issues faced by military veterans in the Free State will be in the spotlight today. This as the Deputy President David Mabuza visits the province this morning in his capacity as chairperson of the Presidential Task Team on Military Veterans. Mabuza will assess progress made by the national and provincial governments to address their plight. Let's talk now to our reporter Mbali Thethani, who is going to tell us what is expected to be the meat of these discussions. Mbali Thethani, the Deputy Minister of Defence, Thabang Makwetla, landing there, and that is the person whose sole responsibility is to look into the affairs of the military veterans. Remember, the Defence Department is split between national defence and military veterans. So what has happened thus far? I mean, we do remember the hostage situation, and that tells you the frustration of these military veterans.
You're certainly right, Colin. Of course, that's why President Cyril Ramaphosa around 2020 established this presidential task team to deal with military veterans, because you would know for quite some time they have been complaining about some of the challenges that they have been facing. And of course, these challenges, they say that were being dealt in silos, Colin, and you're certainly right. And their frustrations even last year proceeded to that hostage situation which we saw at St. George's Hotel, where ministers, the Minister of Defence,
All right, that connection to Mbali Thethani, unfortunately failing us there. We'll try and reconnect with Mbali Thethani as soon as we're able to stabilize the picture. In fact, I think she is back in picture. I can see her with the corner of my eye. Mbali, you are still on, and I suspect you possibly may have thought you will escape us. Who is the official arriving there, Mbali? Might that be the Deputy President? No, I think in fact it is the Deputy Minister Thabang Makwetla. Mbali, am I correct?
Well, Toli, we did see Thabang Makwetla just arriving a bit earlier on when it comes to us seeing the aircraft on our right. But we are now seeing another aircraft making its way. And, of course, I've just seen, a guard of honor now being formed. So one would definitely say that it is indeed the Deputy President of the country, David Mabuza, arriving here in Bloemfontein at the Bloedspruit Air Force Base. And, of course, he is expected to come here to come and deal with some of the challenges and the issues facing the military veterans, Koli. Now, you would remember just last year in October, Koli, we had that situation taking place at the Air Force, at the St. George's Hotel in Pretoria last year, where a number of the officials, ministers, it was indeed Minister of Defence Thandi Modise, it was also the Deputy Thabang Makwetla, and also the Minister Mondli Ngububeli, who is the Minister in the Presidency. They were held hostage. And of course, these military veterans basically complaining, saying that they want reparations for the role in which they played during the fight against apartheid. And of course, there are a number of challenges, Oli, that they continue to face. You would know that in the past, they've honestly complained around issues around their pensions, the healthcare benefits. You'd also know that they wanted their criminal records to be expunged because of the role that they played in the struggle. But of course, they also wanted issues around education for their children. And of course, they also wanted provision of land and farming so that they could also be in a position to be able to, of course, indeed fund themselves. But this is expected to be at least now the fourth visit that the President or the Deputy President is making. You would also remember that they did indeed go to other provinces, including the likes of Limpopo, And of course, this being now the fourth province that the Deputy President is indeed visiting. So, Xoli, it is indeed expected to be a jam-packed program. We are expecting the Premier of this province to also then come here and accept the Deputy President.
Yeah, Mbali, you speak about all of these expectations of the military veterans, and we have gone into some detail explaining the situation that resulted in October last year at the St. George's Hotel, where the military veterans did indeed hold government ministers, including the defense minister and the deputy minister, by the way, who is there where you are this morning, holding them hostage. In fact, Mbali, just coincidentally, I was joined by the Deputy Minister of Defense, Thabang Makwetla, here in studio yesterday, where he confirmed that indeed they were held against their will, but at the same time saying that he is okay with the fact that the National Prosecuting Authority has withdrawn the charge. And of course, in picture now, we are seeing the Deputy President, David Mabuza, stepping out of that plane. Mbali, the Deputy Minister, very clear that he is not going to challenge this matter any further. He's going to follow the script of the NPA, if you like, and that is to basically let sleeping dogs lie. That said, Mbali, let's focus the attention on the budget of the defense. It is a shrinking budget. Are we able to foretell whether the demands that are being made by the veterans are all going to be implemented, or might they have to accept that there is a small budget, some things are going to be possible and other things are not going to be possible?
You're certainly right, Xoli, especially at a time where we have a shrinking economy. When it comes to issues around budgets, it becomes a very important issue, especially when you have military veterans also demanding to be paid millions in reparations when it comes to the role that they played. So it is something that we'll also try and tackle, and also ask the Deputy President in terms of how will they ensure that indeed that the military veterans are indeed listened to, especially when it comes to their demands, because when you look at the list of their demands, funding education, taking care of their health care, listening to issues around land, and looking at issues around their pensions. So one would say that that is really a lot of money. And it is quite important for us to even ask from the Deputy President, indeed, where will that money come from? So it is going to be quite a very interesting visit that will take place, especially on the back of those 53 military veterans who were arrested indeed last year. Let's just take a listen now, Xoli, to the Premier welcoming the Deputy President.
Deputy President, how are you? Fine, how are you? Right. I'm okay. And how's the Deputy President?
No, I'm here now. Right. Are you fine? No, right. Hey. Are you fine?
I'm okay.
Yeah, no. All right, Xoli, there you have it. It is indeed Sisi Ntombela, who is the Premier of the Free State, there taking in the Deputy President of the country. And of course, I'm going to try and bring in a guest here, an MEC, who will be able to explain to us just a bit earlier on what to expect in the program. I must say, just noting a number of the people taking in and walking here who will be listening to the Deputy President, who will be also listening to those grievances that, they have been complaining about. I'm also going to then try and quickly bring in the MEC here. Of course, his name is, William Bulwane. He is the MEC here for roads, police and transport. Mr. Bulwane, we've now seen the Deputy President make his way here this morning. And of course, as the Free State government, what can we expect when it comes to him addressing the challenges of military veterans in this province?
We are having some military veterans in the province, and I'm sure that he has been traveling throughout the country, trying to get into the plight of the military veterans. So we are part of the country, so he has come to get to understand what exactly are we doing in the Free State to deal with that plight, and how do we help, and what is the military veteran department doing in making sure that these veterans in the Free State are getting what they are supposed to get in terms of the law. So I think the Deputy President is here to get from the horse's mouth, because we'll be addressing them also, just to get to know what's happening. Are they getting help? Are they supported as the Act says that they should be supported? I think the 11th mandate in terms of the law that has been passed in terms of the military veterans. So I think the Deputy President is there to monitor and make sure that they are supported.
When it comes to the challenges that the military veterans in this province are facing, how severe are these challenges? I mean, just myself, I continue to get a number of calls from a number of military veterans complaining. When it comes to the Free State government, what are the most significant challenges that they have been raising with you?
I think the mandate lies with the military veterans department. I think that's the bottom line. That's the premise we must move from. It lies within the military veterans. They are supposed to be the ones that are helping them. But in collaboration with the provinces to say that we have this, for an example, the issue of the database. We can't just help anybody who wants help because says he's a military veteran if we don't have a database for that. So the military veteran must come handy, and then we must also play our part. But I think there is that we have done. There are houses that are there, they are vandalized now because we don't have a database. We don't know who's supposed to get in, who's not supposed to get in. And then we don't encourage them to come as individual to say I'm a military veteran without being verified that that person, is he a military veteran or she's not. Is he or she is not a military veteran? So those are the challenges that the province is faced with. But the biggest challenge is with the National Department of Military Veterans.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, Xoli, that is William Bulwane there. He is the MEC here for Police, Roads and Transport in the Free State. Just talking about those challenges that even as the province and the military or the Defense Department continues to deal with is the issue around a database to collate who indeed needs to benefit when it comes to, some of these, benefits that the government is trying and meet these military veterans who also played a very important part in the struggle against apartheid.
Mbali, Thethani, thank you very much indeed. Live for us at the Bloemfontein Airport, and that's where the Deputy President of the country, David Mabuza, has just landed. Let's take